Greetings, this is Steve Diamond with Living Land Permaculture Homestead, and today I'm going to show you how to drain your urine barrels. About one 50-gallon barrel per person per winter is what we need here in Barrington, New Hampshire. And so to do this, you need to have your barrel of urine at least a pallet off the ground for siphoning purposes. You need a slide and pump mini, which you can get on the internet for siphoning. You need a funnel with a fairly big opening. This is a little on the small side. You need a very short garden hose. You need containers to dispense the pee with. These are 2.5 gallon different options. One is from the female system, one is from the male system. I'm going to have a couple of extra buckets that are pretty clean to temporarily store the urine in with lids, and that's about it. So here goes. Oh, and you also need to be somewhat willing to maybe touch a little pee and not melt. So put the slide and pump on the end. So any bit of metal anywhere that gets urine on it has to be rinsed afterwards or it will corrode. It's an important detail. Prep my containers. I'm all ready to go. I'm going to fill the tallest one first because if the entry point is highest, I don't want to lose my siphon. This will become clearer as we go on. Stick that in all the way in. Have a nice place to sit. It's going to take a minute. So I think I might start here just to contain any mess. Might be a little dribblage here. Might be a little smelly. It's sat there a while, but we're in a well-ventilated area, and we're outdoors in a graveled area, so if there's a little bit of spillage on the ground, it's not the end of the world. Okay. Hose is starting to fill. Still sucking a little air here. Okay, mostly have everything filled with liquid instead of air. There we go. Okay. Okay. No, not quite. Still getting a little air from somewhere. Maybe I don't have this all the way in. Do it. Oh, we got a siphon there. So it's flowing out the end. That means I can undo this. And if this end is lower than the level of the pee there, it will come out from here instead of the end of the sliding pump. Okay. It's flowing. I'm going to fill this one first. And depending on how big and strong you are and how recently it's rained, you might only fill these jugs halfway with pee so that you can dilute it 50-50 with water. You might, if it's just rained or is actively raining, you might fill it all the way with urine and just spread it very lightly. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm going to take advantage of the siphon I've started here. And so it's 50 gallons-ish from the barrel. I have 2 5-gallon buckets. These are each 2.5 gallons. So this is about, maybe half of what's in the barrel. Do this 4 times, and I've processed everything that I put up for the winter.
And what will you do with it once it's in these containers?
Well, then I'll spread it on nice pasture to get much more productivity out of our pasture for our animals. So again, a 50-50 water down ensures that you will not burn your plants of whatever kind. But of course, liquids are heavy, so if you want to spread a little less weight, you can adjust things accordingly. Yeah, it's either on pasture or on perennial plants. I wouldn't personally put it directly on something I'm about to eat, but that's your own judgment call.
This is for your own eating, not for sale.
Yes. And this is only urine, my pee. I wouldn't necessarily be as comfortable handling the urine of a whole bunch of different random people who I don't know. So anyway, so this is flowing pretty well. This thing is pretty much full. At some point I'm going to transition to the next one. And if there's some spillage, whatever, I'll rinse it. That's what a garden hose is for. Fortunately, we have a spigot right there. Very convenient.
All right.
And oh, there's one more detail. So, depending on how strong you are, I said it has to be at least a pallet's height off the ground for siphoning purposes. So essentially, as the level gets lower in the barrel, the pressure will go down. The height of where the urine will come out has to be lower and lower to stay below where the height of the pee is. So personally, I'm fairly strong, and I can handle a barrel with maybe 10 gallons of urine in it in order to tip it and put it in a bucket. But if you are not up for that, you need to have lifted the barrel, installed the barrel, stored the barrel higher, at least a concrete block off the ground, in order to siphon further than this. And you certainly don't want this to fall over. If you do the math, a barrel full weighs 400 plus pounds. You don't want to squish anyone with that. So you got to make sure it's stable, and wet things can make things squishy. So it's all dependent on your situation. So if you have any questions, post a comment. Hope that's clear and hope that's helpful. Take care.